There's an RDL coaching cue that I think needs serious revision, especially if you are getting low back pain during your RDL, and that is focusing too much on keeping the shins absolutely vertical. It also just turns into a really stiff movement, and as I said in the previous video, you've already got a stiff lower back, so you want a movement that's going to allow the back and hips to move more naturally and less stiff. So if I fix my weight over the heel and my feet have got to tense up, my whole body's got to tense up, and then I'm already in like the back of my body and I need to shift my hips back, it's going to be super stiff, and I'm actually limited to how far I can go into the hips without actually falling back. Whereas if I bring the weight over the middle of my foot, so I want to feel the weight through the ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe and the heel, for me that actually brings me into an ever so slightly positive shin angle, but from there I can actually sit my hips back, lean my body forward, actually use the hip hinge movement pattern. I can access better hip internal rotation, get a better stretch on the glutes, and just do an overall better RDL. And when we focus on that vertical shin cue too much and shifting the weight back, often I'll see the weight traveling with the person. Probably happens a bit more with dumbbells, like you can almost see the body and the dumbbells traveling backwards, whereas the barbell, the dumbbells, the main weight wants to stay over your center of mass, which is why it helps to bring the weight over the midfoot and have that tripod foot. So when we're lifting the weight is traveling straight down, remaining over the center of mass, and then traveling straight back up. And the hips are moving away from the center of mass, but in order to pull that weight back up, the hips have got to pull back in, and then everything returns to that central position. But truthfully, you can overthink form until you are blue in the face. But if you've got all those issues that I mentioned in the first video, you never train outside a neutral spine, you only train in sagittal movement plane, your spine is stiff as fuck and your hips are stiff as fuck, then you can do all the form cues in the world, you're still going to end up with joint pain at some point.